I think we're back.
Sorry, we were gossiping.
Having a chat there.
Yeah, because I didn't expect you to be back so soon. But
no.
It's 8:32, almost 8:33. He's taking away the clock.
Never mind.
Oh, he's
adjusting it. Old friend here.
Old friend, come close.
Young friend.
Come on to Nevis Radio TV, on the Nevis TV. Put on the wide-angle lens. You could talk.
I was just going to stand in the background.
Well, you have to.
I've got a question to
He's not a shy individual.
Better introduce him first.
Yeah.
Mr. Stuart Dozie of Rivals Dunlop Motorsport. Of course, we're sponsored by Michelin and Trial Magazine, but
he's a good friend.
Been coming up to the Scottish 6 Days Trial for many, many years. How many years have you been coming up here, Stuart? Any idea?
20 now.
That's all right.
He's only 28.
He is indeed.
Yes, I came here as a child.
You've suffered.
A babe in arms.
Yeah, a big peep around it.
Oh, absolutely. A very drunken babe in arms.
Crack on then.
Can't be bad. Now, there was a question kicked off earlier this week when they were trying to catch us out. Somebody actually asked the question, I think it was Brian and Louise Nichol, why are tyres black in colour?
Well, one of the main components is a product called carbon black. And I think the clue's in the name.
Carbon black.
Carbon black. Although the companies have tried to make different coloured tyres as a bit of a gimmick, but they only end up getting very dirty, don't they? So if you make them black, they tend not to show up the dirt as much. I believe that's quite a practical reason as well.
I think so, yes. I'll go with that.
And I did ask you a question offline there, because it's now 100 years of the Scottish 6 Days Trial, as you're aware, but it's also 100 years since Henry Alexander of Alexander's of Edinburgh took a Model T Ford up the Ben Nevis. And we were asking, was it Dunlop tyres on it, or was it Michelin tyres? I mean, obviously the pneumatic tyre was invented by, was it John Boyd Dunlop?
The pneumatic tyre was, yes. Whether or not it was on the Model T Ford, I wouldn't know.
Because you weren't there?
No, I wasn't there. No. It had nothing to do with me, I promise.
It's one thing that has got nothing to do with you then?
It's interesting because it's the centenary of the TT this year as well, isn't it?
That's right, it is, and also it has been the centenary of the Monte Carlo Rally, so it all seemed to kick in round about between 1909 and 1911 for motorsport.
Yeah, and we've actually it's just been released that we are the official tyre partner for the TT for the next 3 years, so that's all good. But yeah, it's obviously that it got to a point where people were using transport and thought, hang on, why don't we just go out and play on them? And instead of just using them to get backwards and forwards from place to place, let's go and have some fun on them. And if it wasn't for people doing that, then we wouldn't be in the position we are today. We're having the motorsport department going to races around the world for, and bringing the technology from the racetrack to the road. This is sounding very corporate, isn't it? Can we stop this?
It's very true, because people wonder why we do trials, and trials were really set up originally to test the machinery. That's why it's called trial. It was put on trial, and of course things have moved on in suspension, engine management systems, fuel injection. I mean, we've now got an OSA in the country. The brand has been reborn, and it's a fuel-injected two-stroke.
What was he just saying then? That went straight over my head.
I've no idea what he's on about at all.
Asleep then.
Yeah.
Wake up, Stuart. Stay with it.
He hasn't changed.
No, technology moves on, doesn't it? I mean, they're always pushing the envelope, as they say, and it's down to the tyre manufacturers to try and keep up with that. I mean, trials has gone so specialist now that the tyres expect us to do things that it never had to do in the past. It doesn't have to be as robust, if you like, because an event like the Scottish is a one-off. Every other trial that you go to is in a sort of enclosed area, and it's just a case of manoeuvring the machine from one section to another. So having to make a tyre that will do 100 miles a day, 75 of them could be on tarmac at 50, 60 miles an hour and more. That's not really in the tyre engineer's equations. It's a fact to make the thing grip as much as possible for that split second that it's required. So, people are saying, oh, tyres don't do what they used to. Well, yeah, but the bikes don't do what they used to. They do a hell of a lot more.
Absolutely right. I mean, things have moved on, and I mean, back in 1911 when they were setting out the Scottish 6 Days Trial, it was a warm week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was
It was
good.
in black and white, and everybody moved quicker
Everybody
when you
moved
watch them.
quicker, yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you know that? Of course, you're a lot younger than me, aren't you?
Well, I hope so.
I just had a hard paper round, don't you know?
I heard it was uphill both ways, is that right?
Absolutely right.
Magazines on a Friday and a Sunday. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, them magazines.
Oh yes. Move on quickly because we've got a man standing behind you.
Yeah.
We've got an interview next as well.
Anyway, better to sort of wind it up there, but thanks very much for calling in to the Park Fermi.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Exactly. Dunlop Motorsport.
It's never a chore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice one. You say the nicest things.
He's a nice
Well,
fella.
I'm paid to, aren't I?
You what? Sorry.
Checks in the post. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Dozie of Dunlop Motorsport.
Yeah. And good morning to everybody in Fort William, and I hope you all have a great weekend. So.
Thank you. You're going home now, aren't you?
I'm going home.
You're going home now. He's heading south.
I'm heading south, you know. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Back to the ranch, the mansion.
Yeah, but back to North Yorkshire, where men are men and sheep are worried.
Yes. Move on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Time-wise, it looks like it's 22 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Now look, another fellow over
Another
there.
fella. Just before we introduce the next chap,
Another 7 minutes.
John Hume of Trial Magazine would like to thank his wife, his hard working, long-suffering wife Jane, for putting him up with him this week. So thank you very much, Jane.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Okay. Right, what have we got to catch up on, Si? Yeah. No, do the adverts and come back to us. Yeah, thank you. No, do the adverts and come back, and then we'll work at a timing thing. Come on. Certainly is, and a very good morning to you if you just joined us. Time-wise, I reckon it's coming up for 17 minutes away from 9. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. You can switch your microphone on if you want to. Is this microphone on?
I think it is. Can you hear
well,
me,
you turn around and do telly as well.
Yes.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on the stream, this is Mr. David Sedgwick, consultant surgeon at the Belford Hospital and also a member of the Master Seed Fellowship. Did you like that?
Thank you, David.
Got it all. Stop for the day.
Good morning, David, and John, and Simon in the studio, and the listeners. It's good to be here once again and to join you from live from the park today. This week we've looked at the direction and advice we can get from God's map and guidebook, the Bible. Also the strength and ability to change from his death on the cross and the fact that he rose again. However, it's all very well knowing about these things, but what Jesus was interested in was what we're going to do about the things he was talking about. He talked of a new kingdom coming which was going to be different. If you had power and authority, it was inextricably linked with a love and concern for other people. This was particularly for those who are poor, ill, bereaved, suffering in some way. If you read the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew's Gospel, chapters 5 to 7, then you realize the way to a blessed and happy life is through being a peacemaker, being humble and merciful. Interestingly, we are led to believe that the best way to enjoy life is to get lots of money and to be successful. You get a big house with lots of possessions. Win Butler, singer and songwriter and musician who was founder member of Arcade Fire, the really successful North American band, has written a song, City with No Children, on the most recent album, Suburbs. I feel that some of the lyrics reflect what he's now feeling since he became rich and successful. I feel like I've been living in a city with no children in it, a garden left for ruin by a millionaire inside a private prison. The sparkle seems to have gone out of his life and he feels trapped. You never trust a millionaire quoting the Sermon on the Mount. In other words, if the words of Jesus haven't changed your attitude to your money and possessions, then you won't experience what he's promised for us in this life. God really does want the best for us, and that comes through what we make our priorities. Therefore, be careful what you make as your priorities and don't end up inside a private prison. Take another look at that Sermon on the Mount. Thank you for listening.
And we'll have that tune. Thank you.